huge thing. So
what was that poor kid's name who didn't stand a chance from Moose Jaw with his dad's a batting coach for, I think, Cincinnati.
Oh yeah, he's from the kid from Regina.
What was his Regina? What was his name?
I don't know. He's got real long hair. Yeah,
And that kid was okay. Let's get into this. Okay, you've been itching to get into this since we started this podcast tonight, since we started recording. I had my first ejection in a long time, like ever. Like I had one 25 years ago with a guy from Swift Current, whatever. He was a dickhead, and I told him that, and whatever. Anyways, I've said it on this show on 1420 to my girlfriend, to my mom, to whoever wants to listen. I had a quick trigger that night. I probably didn't need to throw the guy out the way I did in the second inning of a game. I was a little bit quick, but there was a reason behind it why I threw the guy out when I did.
Yeah, and I
Matt,
think we need to
just let me finish.
Okay. All right.
I want to hear your side of the story from the drive from Lethbridge to Medicine Hat, the dressing room situation, what happened during the game. Let's hear your version of what actually happened that night. Because there's three sides to every story, right? My side, your side.
Fair enough. And I feel like I'm the most neutral because I didn't throw the guy out and I didn't say anything to you, so I think I'm neutral. But anyways, so we get into the car to go to Medicine Hat. I think it's like maybe a Thursday night or Friday night when it's pretty clear to me that Brent doesn't want to go. The number one. So he's already upset that we're going to Medicine Hat for the fourth time that week, whatever it was. And we started talking about Brent coming back and not having any ejections. And if you've done baseball in this area or had Brent umpire you, he's not afraid to tell you how he feels, whether that's about you or your decision or anything like that. And I love him for it. I think it's a fantastic trait, and I think more guys should do it. So we're driving there, and Brent says, well, I haven't had an ejection in 20 years. And I said, okay, well, you just talked it into existence. So whatever, we let it go. We get to the field, and you could tell Brent starting to get his gear on. So his mind is starting to get more geared towards the game, and he's finally happy to be there. And I said,
I get dialed in.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you were dialed. We were there an hour and a half early. We were really dialed. So we get our stuff on and we're going out. And I told our was it Levi that was with us?
Yeah.
And I told Levi because
you were on third. Levi was on first.
Yeah. Brent walked out of the room first. I said, Levi, he's gonna have a bingo night for sure. We laughed about it or whatever. And so sure as shit, we go out there, and I think there was, I don't know, Regina's hitting first, so top of the first inning, and I'm inside because there's a man on first base, and this kid who's from Regina he's playing left field. His dad.
What was his name?
Oh man, I can't remember. But his dad's a hitting coach in the big leagues for a major league team. So, anyways, we didn't know that at the time, but we go in and there's I don't know, strike one, strike two, and strike two is maybe questionable, but I mean it's summer ball.
Oh, I said it, yeah.
Summer ball, man, who cares? Like, just wear it. So then strike three happens. I think he strikes out swinging or whatever. And he says something, and
his exact words. He said, "You can't call that a strike when the pitcher's this good." Is what he actually said. Zelensky.
Yeah, it sounds right. But anyways, you can't. That's not a thing you can say. You can't say that. You can't call it a strike if the pitcher's this good. Anyways, so Brent tells him where the pitch was. No big deal. We move on. So nothing is said, the inning ends. I think it's ground ball or whatever. Brent walks up the line to his spot in between innings, and I'm kind of running back to my position, and I can tell that Brent's still fired up about what happened here. So as I'm running to my position, I see Brent turn around and just fires a guy out, and I'm just like, what
Michael
happened?
Zinter. I just Googled it. Michael Zinter.
There you go, Michael Zinter. So what happened was the third base coach had come down from Regina, who's, I don't like to be a dink on this, but he's a freaking nozzle. Anyway, he comes down and he starts arguing that Brent can't talk to the players and that it was a bad call and all this stuff. And I could tell Brent was fired up, and I just seen him throw him right out, bingo him. And then the guy said, what did he say to you even?
He says, you're fucking soft. And I said, fuck you. You're still fucking done. Get the fuck out of here, you little prick.
So as soon as I seen that go down, I started walking down towards home plate, and they were kind of in each other's face, but not really. And then the head coach from Regina
Jason come out and what happened? Yeah.
And finally it settled down. The guy left, and we're standing there, and I didn't say anything to Brent right away because I knew he was fired right up. So I just said, "You good?" And he goes, "Yep." And I walked back out to my position, and couple innings later, I go down and I said, I told you it was going to happen tonight.
Yeah, I might have been a little quick on that one, but I got it out of the way. And I had one 2 nights later as well. Yeah, it was a Wednesday night in Manhattan, and I had another one on Friday night
Yeah.
in here in Lethbridge with Weyburn. Yeah, Jesus Christ. And the thing about throwing guys out, Matt, is that it kind of puts a shitty thing into the game because everybody's revved up afterwards and during and everything. I don't like it. I mean, yeah, like the one I was a little quick on. But in my defense, if I didn't do something, they're going to beak all game long.
That's right. And, you know, we talk about game management and we talk about ejections on these car rides because those are things that make the game put it in a negative light. And for me, you know, we talk at length on these car rides and especially Brent and I and some other guys about keeping guys in games.
Keep guys in the game.
Because we think that if we keep the guys in games, you know, as bad as it gets, it's never going to get to that point. But in defense of umpires around the world, we have to have some kind of game management. And you know, I'm not disagreeing with your ejection on that too. I just think it was funny. But you know, like you said, if you didn't do anything about it there, you were going to probably hear about it all
night long. Yeah. So, Michael Zinter. And what was funny was that Zinter kid went 0 for 4 that night. He can't hit. And then when we were driving back to the hat, I think Olberg had a game in Brooks that night. And he goes, "What's that guy? What's that fucker's name?" He said. And I said, "Michael Zinter." He goes, "He's going 0 for 5 tomorrow night." And sure as shit he did. Eh? It wasn't because umpires were shitty or being assholes. It's because the kid couldn't hit. That's the biggest thing. Zinter just couldn't hit, and it was funny. Michael Zinter, if you listen to this, I think you're a great kid. You have great hair, but you maybe you should take up umpire.
You had a tough week, and you had a tough week of summer.
You had a tough week of summer.